Yo, believe my hair. So something very serious. Yo, man.
This is your real hair.
Yo, man. Wow. Subscribe. Yo, man. Come on, man. Man. This conversation is crucial, man. So subscribe, man.
You have been watching us all this while. I have not subscribed.
Like, man. Yo, man. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm coming this way. It's just a passion burning my heart, man. You know, man. You watch this thing for just some few seconds, man. You should subscribe, man. Man.
Sorry.
No, I'm trying to make it clear. That it's not.
For all our viewers out there, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel.
Yo! Man, subscribe, man.
Thank you.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Crucial Conversations with the AI. Okay, first of all, let me wear my glasses. I'll be always wearing glasses. Somebody has to wear glasses. Cause today, our conversation we normally have is always crucial. So today, I heard a pastor say that, I think it just insinuated that it's not every time we'll be having titles. Sort of like people like titles. And I feel like I'm going to use that rule for this conversation. I don't know what the title is, but then it's a matter and it is submission. Let's talk about submission in marriage, actually. Do you know what I feel? First of all, I just want to say thank you for agreeing, even though I forced you into this conversation, even though you didn't want to have it, you shall must have it. I feel like some people are very scared of getting married. Like some ladies are very scared of getting married because of submission. And like, I remember, reviewing there was something I read, and then that statement said the underlying factor in submission is simply because of pride. Like, why people don't submit is because of pride. And I was like, I now examined myself, and I know that I feel like being married, one of the things, like not even one of the things, one thing in my top charts of what I know that I don't know if the word to use is struggle, but I shall know that it's not easy, right? Is submission. And I check myself and I'm like, no, I know I'm not. Yes, God is helping me, but I know I'm not. And like, I'm not submit. Like, I'm not having an issue with this because of pride. Like, it's definitely not because of pride. So I want to ask you, you are a man, right? And it might feel like maybe you cannot relate, right? But like, when you hear submission as a man, like when you hear, it's mostly a woman, like you have to submit to your husband in marriage. You as a man, I want to ask you, what comes to your mind?
So I'll use my usual template. Let's go back to the beginning.
This is calm. This one is coming. You're hiding under the shadow of the Almighty. Exactly.
So, basically, just to put it in context, when we talk about submission, what I understand is what God designed, right? Which is Adam came first and Eve came to help him, right? So if Adam says, oh, I've named these animals, but I want you to ensure that they are having breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So Eve is supposed to help him, right? If Adam says,
can you come again?
What I was trying to say is that in the Garden of Eden, when God, labeled and put man first, or Adam the man, and then Eve now came on the picture, but then Adam had been given responsibilities, work, and everything. So, now, Eve came on board. She doesn't understand what's happening here. So Adam now has to explain. Oh, this is elephant, giraffe, and this is their function. So you'll be helping me out in this garden for, whatever I need help with, whether to keep me company or administrative affairs, or so I'm using all this context to put it into this context, right? Now, Jesus came, fast forward to some years, thousands of years after, and then Jesus now, dies on the cross, and then we now hear husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it, and now talk to wives, say also wives submit to your husbands, in that kind of respect. So I'm talking about I think that should be Ephesians, First Peter 3 verse 5, I think. Yeah. So
no, I think it's Ephesians.
Ephesians 5, I guess.
Probably Ephesians 5 verse 30.
Yeah, Ephesians 5 verse 30. So we can check out the scripture, sure. So I'm now asking myself that in today's context now, how do we now bring this up? Because now they bastardized the whole word submission. Like,
really?
It means different things to different people in different contexts, in different nationalities, in fact, now the overall expression of that word is like it doesn't carry the weight that it's meant to have. Just like the word love now, they so use that word that we don't even know how to quantify what it means to love again. You understand the general context of things. So that's why talking about this topic is a bit, because you already know that once they hear that topic, a lot of people just go defensive.
Are you done? I want to say something.
No, I'm still trying to go my I need to lay the good foundation so that I can build very well. So with that said, now I understand the context, right? So submission came about as a natural flow of what is to be. Jesus Christ came, died and showed us the way. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. And so we submit to Christ, as the head of the church, and we are like his bride. Okay, so we cannot now come out and say, so we are working under the authority of Christ as the bride, or the woman now working under the authority of her husband. So the man can, Jesus has given us authority. Luke 10:19, I give unto you power to tread upon serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. So Luke 10:19. So now you now go as the bride of Christ and say, you Satan, get lost. Now she's operating in the authority. So not she, we as Christians are operating in the authority.
You're my co-bride.
Of Christ. That's the really crucial conversation there. So where am I going to now? A woman has the full capacity to operate in the authority of her husband.
What does that mean?
And so what that means is that the husband has given her full authority. See, over this jurisdiction, take charge. I've given you the full. So I give a context of in the home. So I'm coming closer now.
Yeah.
In the home, the man, is the spiritual head in the home. He ensures that the family is together and leads the family in devotion, fellowship, ensures that the covenant the family has with the Lord is sustained, and all of that. The wife plays a solid supporting role in the spiritual order of the home. So when the man says we are fasting, so the wife can help us with ensuring that the children understand a bit better. Daddy says we are declaring a 3-day fast, and you have 3-year-olds and 5-year-olds and 15-year-olds in the house. The mother can also help to, maybe daddy has to go to work and she helps her, and they say, okay, daddy said we're going on a fast, and this is what he's trying to explain. Even he can also explain briefly and go. So I'm just giving context of one side. What was the context where the man is always at home or is available, and he explains and says, okay, this is why we're going on. So he leads the four. And so let's go into other areas to talk about the spiritual areas. What about the general leadership in all areas of the home? God designed it that the man takes the authority. So in this context where the world has evolved, where like you now find women, because of how many women have been battered by men, or a home that is not very stable, the woman now has to take charge because the man is absent. And if you find most single homes, go and check, women are always saying that, look, she's under a lot of stress, it's a lot. It's not the original design. So the original, and if you see a home where the husband and wife are together and the man is taking charge as he should, the wife finds it easy to submit. Submission becomes difficult when leadership has failed.
Okay.
That's my first point.
Okay, so submission becomes difficult when leadership has failed, right? I'm amazed that I allowed you to learn.
Because you think I almost never learned.
Yeah, I was going to take you from there. I feel like, when the word submission, when we hear that word, maybe for some of us as ladies, right? The first thing that comes to our mind is manipulation. Sometimes, right? Especially, like it feels like allow your husband to manipulate you, like because Jesus says so, right? And
which is not,
well, that's like what people, I don't know, whoever is saying submit, right, might assume that that's not what we're hearing. Now I'm using we because I think we had like a tense moment, and I remember saying that you have no idea how it feels to submit.
And I didn't understand.
I didn't understand. I didn't understand because
what's going on here?
Why okay, so I hope I can be able to gather my thoughts, right? I was talking about what some ladies might hear, or some of us, let me put myself inside here, is allow your husband to manipulate you. And I think maybe it's because of probably some models that we have seen, or some like instruction without education. So what do I mean? I remember when Pastor David said something, you cannot instruct somebody you have not taught. And I feel like we as a society have been used to, you are going to do something because I said so. And then when I look at that statement, I don't feel like you love me. I don't feel like you care about me. I don't feel like this whole thing has me in mind. Because why I say so is that aside marriage, when it comes to other things, submission feels so easy. For example, making hair actually aches. But you will see ladies sit down under that painful they will submit their head and get their head braided, get their hair twisted, get their hair cooked. And even for some guys,
and they'll stay there.
Now they will stay there. Now when you come to Nigeria context, you will see a lady, and when I say lady, I'm talking about the idea of submission, it's because of this submission thing. You will see a lady, you will enter, maybe you don't have money for Uber or that, you will enter Danfo. You don't even care whether the man has a driver's license or anything. But one thing is common there is that I trust that the vision for my life, you are committed to creating it. So what do I mean? I go to make my hair, I give you the vision, and I know that all this pain I'm going through is because your sincere heart desire is not to inflict pains on me, but to give me a very beautiful look that people will say, wow, and all of that. Now, to the downfall context, in as much as I shall trust that where I'm going is where you are taking me to. And I feel like the way submission has been introduced to us seem to have removed the piece of puzzle of love. Because I notice when there is a place of I trust you, it's easier for me to submit to you. Even if I do not agree with you, if I can trust you, like I don't agree with your method, sometimes I don't agree with some things, but you have proven that you care about me. Your interest is for me. It's easier for me to submit. And I feel like when we think about submission sometimes, especially the Garden of Eden, thank you for allowing me to keep talking, especially the Garden of Eden, there's this, I don't know, probably it's just my thoughts or my POV, but it feels like there's this ideology that the woman is void of vision.
Which context?
Like the man is the leader, so he cast the vision, right? And then he was the one committed the work, right? And then we have like you said, Eve comes and then just you were giving a scenario. Okay, well, I've named the animal, so they have to eat something like that, and then she comes and eats, and I mean give them food and all of that. So there's this. So if we're going to look at that, somebody might see it as, are you trying to say that she does not have a vision? And when I say a vision, I mean like an inbuilt picture of the future. So it's not like she's creating it herself, but for she to have been engineered to be a helpmate, there is in that purpose is a picture of how purpose ought to play out, basically. So sometimes it feels like the woman is blank of vision, so she comes to the marriage institution, and then it's the man that's supposed to be casting the vision and casting the vision and casting it. And
like
so when she now coming with initiatives, so for some people when they hear it that way, they feel like, are you trying to say that she suspend my initiative and all of that? Now, before I continue,
you want to speak to that?
Yes, wait. Before I continue, I would like you to. I want to introduce you. Before I continue,
what's going on here?
But really, on a serious note, before I continue, basically, I want you to speak on that. Can you speak on that?
Oh my God. Okay. So, again, let's go back to this.
I need fun.
You need fun.
I'm falling on the power love. Ooh.
I would say that
sorry.
Right at the beginning, God designed it in such a way that Adam, was the first man he created. And he thought it wasn't good enough, and so he created a woman. But now the world has...
No, did he say it was not good enough?
He said it's not good that this man should be alone now.
Okay, so
and then he created the man. So that means originally the man is not even good by himself. So women are very, very important. So in fact, you see, so submission thing. First of all, let me talk to my guys, man. We need to understand that. Look, see, you don't do yourself, because they are very. So you see this woman now, she's very, very important for me. I don't know about others. Understand? So I don't know why submission can even be a problem in code, because I'm like, this person will go want to help me. I beg, make her life easy so that she can help, because I need the help. You don't understand? I'm helpless. So, when some people say, how do you cope? I say, cope? I'm not coping. The help I need, God has given me. Thank you very much. Really cope. So that's it.
Yeah.
So for me, you mentioned the points that I feel I want to reiterate that statement. I said, when leadership fails, submission becomes difficult. Then I also add that when love is absent, submission becomes impossible. So when leadership fails, submission is difficult. And when love is now absent, or love is not present, submission literally is impossible. Right? Because you are already either manipulating or using fear tactics or something else. Then whatever you are calling that is not married again.
And it's not even leadership.
And it's not, you understand? So like you say, the woman running home because the man must not get home and there's no food. I don't know what to, that's fear. Do you understand? That's not love. Do you understand? It should be more like the man is rushing to get home because he has missed his wife and he just wants to see her face. Or being with her presence, or she now helps him to cool off. He wants to come and rant from all the anointing that happens in the office, and he has someone to rant. So I would say that submission is like filling a lot of gaps for the man. And God designed it that way. But the society has put so much pressure, in terms of economic pressure. I won't say the society, I don't say the world we live in has evolved such that there's so much pressure economically that makes it very difficult for many homes to function in God's design. But guess what? There's still a way out.
Yeah.
And so back to the pinpoint question. Like you're more or less asking me, so can the woman not have a vision and come into the home? Like, why is it looking like only the man will have the vision and the woman will come to help him?
Yeah, right? Something like that.
My answer is C. Two visions is division. So if a woman has a calling, or she's seen something about her life, right? God will connect her to a man who will help her to fulfill it, but they are fulfilling it as one. I don't know if you get my point. Yeah. So even though the woman looks like she's in the forefront, right? If you check critically, the man is still playing a very solid role. That without it, the woman still sees him as the leader. She might just be the popular one, but that man, like I've seen women, I've seen a president, literal president that was, she said, look, right here in this place, I'm the president, but at home, I am my husband's wife and I cook his food. So you can say whatever you want to say. You get? So how do you put submission in that context? Do you say that the woman had her own vision, she ran for politics, she became a president, and then she's whatever, and then some people just imagine that, no, this woman is not the boss of our own. And the man, some men might not be able to believe that they can ever accommodate such, like where their wives will be like, so do you know that the spiritual foundation of being a man, you cannot associate it. So whatever, that's even the primary. You must hold the home spiritually as a man. So if for any reason you are down, your wife can come and help you out. You see that spiritual foundation, that spiritual, the grace has been given to the man. So there are some graces God has given the man to lead in that regard. So whatever your wife is bringing, whether she wants to be the things like she wants to start the biggest fashion house in the world,
own a
conglomerate of businesses, like that is not
the president of a country.
Do you understand? To you as a man, that is showing that if she can achieve it under your leadership, that means you're a good leader.
Yeah.
If a man has a child that went to university and came out and the child had 200 scholarships, they'll say that,
who's your father?
Who's your father?
Who's your parents?
You see,
why your teachers? Why your leaders?
You understand? Like, the family, and they say, oh, the home where I came from, we're taught things, we're taught this. Hey, I know it's when you see someone well behaved, the first thing, if ill behaved, you're asking that which home who's your father? Who are your parents? How did they bring you up? This boy, the way they brought him up, So for me, a woman comes with whatever she's bringing, is what God has put in her to help you. So if she's bringing and she's feeling the burden in her heart to start a school, and that school is supposed to train the next generation of leaders, right? That means that God has given you the grace to lead. Do you understand? But she will be an outward expression. So while you are probably in the home front, so it now comes in different grades. So maybe you are at the home front, you are praying, you're taking the children to school, your wife is in the office, she's sorting out the administrative affairs of the school because she's trained and qualified for that, and the two of you are working hand in hand. But there's no balance off that makes it look like she's the one in charge and now I'm the subordinate. Except they don't understand the setting that God has designed, and they don't work in it. And if they don't work in it, it won't last. If they work in it, you see a perfect synergy. So a woman actually always complements the man, and the man always leads in the home. But the expressions somehow make it look not so. When a woman seemingly looks like she's out there, it doesn't. The home is not about who is successful on the career street. I don't know why I keep on using career, but it's not about who is popular. Or maybe the wife is a pastor and a preacher, and the man is like, no, I don't do pulpit. But you don't know that the real things that matter are not even seen. They are behind. And so that's where the man leads. It's when you zoom in So all the beautiful success stories you see of all the great women out there, check and listen to what they say about their husband. Like the ones that are in the kingdom. You can sense that
even interestingly, even the ones that are not even in the kingdom and are actually flourishing. Like when I say flourishing, like they are doing well and they are married. Like you could see even in those top charts that there's a man in the picture.
so really we can't. So I mean, the best of the best, the most popular, the most famous, all of them, still desire to have a man in the picture. And even when different types of isms have come, this thing ism, that one ism, that one ism, trying to define how something should be, that the society has put too much emphasis on the male gender. Now we need to promote and all of that. All of those things, God's design doesn't change. God's design is God's design.
I wanted to say something, but it feels like it has skipped my mind. And I think I remember it now. When you said two visions in like two vision is division. And I think that point is very very important. And also I like to like buttress on it. So sometimes I feel like given the environment that we have grown up in, we actually like go through a lot of dysfunctional mental models, and that affect our interpretations. So what do I mean? So like let's say we're in this house, like I mean we're here recording this thing. What I'm seeing is not what you're seeing. What you're seeing is not what I'm seeing. There are two different visions, quote and unquote, right? However, when you merge, like my vision is actually not competing with your vision, it's actually complementing your vision and giving it a broader perspective. Why your vision? Like I'm not seeing myself. Like I can't see myself only if you understand. But you're seeing me and you're seeing from here to, and I can see. So in as much as in this context is two vision, in the actual sense of it is one vision.
Exactly.
You understand? And then there's that tendency of when we have a wrong mental model, when we can interpret one vision as two vision. Why? Because we want to be the one in charge instead of God in charge. So I feel like authority becomes manipulative when people get their identity from assignment instead of from the one that assigned them.
Exactly.
So when you get your identity from I'm the head of the home, when you feel threatened in any way, even though have you had situation where I mean I stumbled on something called amygdala, right? I used to stress you with it. So it's the part of the brain that is responsible for identifying threats. And so it's either you fight or you fight or flight, something like that. Have you ever had a situation where it's even your shadow that moved, but you thought it was something else and you reacted, right? So in as much as you reacted, your interpretations were wrong. So there are situations where we have that people's interpretations have been highly damaged, such that when something that is actually meant to help you is coming, you view it as a threat. And once you view that as threat to your leadership, and you find your identity, like your identity is from that headship, you will now want to defend your identity. And that's where it now becomes, I am the man of this. That's when you have to now enforce it back. Like I have to enforce it. I'm the man of this one. It is what I say that you will obey. Meanwhile, if your identity comes from the seal of God on you, knowing that I know who I am and I know who sent me and I know the leadership that you are under. See, you can't find me anywhere. It's just when Jesus said, when he was talking about himself, he felt like he was bragging. And he's like, if I tell you I am not this, I'm lying like you. So that solid sense of identity from the person that assigned you, not from the assignment, makes it hard for your heart to be threatened by the weakness of people under you.
I agree.
Because sometimes, I feel like this issue of submission, it's actually people are trying to ensure that they are secured.
Yeah.
Like people are trying to ensure that. So the man is trying to ensure that when I say the man, I mean like in some of these settings, it's like he's trying to ensure that his sense of identity is secured. The woman is trying to ensure that my interest is secure. So there's this competition, and it is because of, I believe that it is because of wrong source of identity.
And just to wrap with all you said, right? As you were speaking, I just remember Jesus again. That Jesus came, and then we are the bride of Christ, and then Jesus came, did all he could do, and he has ascended up to heaven. And who is the one that is
the bride
manifesting everything? Who is bruising the heel of the serpent?
It's the bride.
So I say this to all the men out there listening to me, that look, however successful your wife becomes, right, in a genuine, true, loving home, all the successes she achieves, right, it still points in a way back to you as a good husband, as a good leader.
And that's true.
Every of your children that become successful, it still points back to you as a good parent. And so for the women out there too, also remember that this man has the foundation of the home as a divine grace that is assigned to him. So if he's not even manifesting the fullness of that foundation in Christ, you can pray for him. That's what you can help him.
You should pray for him. Not even you can, like you can, but you should, like instead of complaining. Sorry, I have to say that, right? Like instead of saying, oh, he's not even doing this, oh, he's not doing that. That's why you are here. Like you're actually here. If he doesn't need help, you're not needed. Exactly. It's just what it is. Like the fact that you're married should it's a sign that your husband needs help, regardless of how you think. Maybe on the outside people see him as reverend, pastor, bishop, archbishop, leader, CEO, or a gatesman, or a, like, regardless of what people are seeing outside, the fact that you got married is actually a sign that he needs help. And I feel like sometimes there's a tendency to approach marriage from the sense of entitlement and what I can get, and not realizing that marriage is a platform to serve. Right. Like the heart of leadership, when it comes to the man now, the heart of leadership is service. Like the Bible makes us understand that more like the greatest of all is going to be the servant of all. And I feel like the idea of worth, I feel like the idea of worth in our society sometimes is interpreted by how much of like the person that people are seeing, the person that people are validating, the person with the highest follower. Like how we weigh worth is how much do you earn? That's how we weigh worth. How many followers do you have? How many members are in your church? That's how we weigh worth. Meanwhile, before the eyes of God, right, equally we are all worth, by the blood of Jesus is our worth. But aside that, in terms of relevance, like what this person is actually by how much a person aligns to God's pattern and his, like, what he's trying to do pattern. Like the portrait is trying to, like, the portrait is trying to show forth value is way to God based on how much of his portrait you carry, how much of his portrait you display, not necessarily by your followers. And I feel like because of this disparity, right, there's that thing of a threat to a man's in our context. There's a tendency to be a threat to a man's worth when the woman is earning more, because dysfunctionally our worth has been tied wrongly. There's a tendency to be a threat to a man's worth when the woman is probably like doing, and also sometimes there's a tendency to even be a threat to the woman's worth when it just feels like she does not have a voice. She does not have it. And she actually needs to have a voice.
Sure.
You know, and so those threats is what makes. So there is those threats is what makes submission like. So please, don't bring that table. Don't even go there. Like I'm not going to. However, when you look at it, first of all, submission is not Africa culture idea. Submission is not Jewish culture idea. Submission is God's
kingdom culture.
God's idea. And I feel like, you know, I would like you to really round up with this. I feel like it takes faith to submit. And what do I mean? I have a definition of submission here, right? Especially in our world, right? So here it says submission is not suppression or subjugation. Submission is the intentional act of entrusting something valuable to a rightful authority with the confidence that the authority's interest is the preservation, protection, and prosperity of what has been entrusted. It is not the loss of value or identity, but the placement of value into hands that are committed to its flourishing. Because of this, true submission demands accountability. It requires structures and processes that prioritize the stewardship of what has been entrusted over personal gratification or the satisfaction of selfish interests. Genuine authority does not exist to exploit, control, or diminish value, but to cultivate, protect, and cause it to flourish. Where submission is biblical, responsibility accompanies authority, and authority is measured not by the power of control, but by the faithfulness to preserve, nurture, and increase what has been entrusted. So, I read this. But before, you know, because I really like it to round up, I realized something. The gravity of submission. Because now, why I say submission takes faith is because you see this thing I just defined. In a way, it's easier to do it with somebody you believe is perfect. Like, you know, so for example, somebody that's making your hair, it's because of your hair. So it's perfect hair. But when it now comes to your life, and you have to now submit to somebody that you are clearly seeing his imperfection, when it now comes to the scope of what is being entrusted to him, it can feel like, can I trust this? Yes.
Can I do this?
But faith is standing with God. God in his wisdom knows that this person has imperfection, yet he puts a template of a structure for marriage, which is he will be the leader. And faith is saying, God, I trust you. What I'm seeing doesn't look like it, but I agree with you. I consider you more real than the imperfection I'm seeing. I consider your wisdom more potent than the imperfection I'm seeing, and I lay it down. Like I trust that this my, you know, what you're committed to me and this home and everything, and not just about me, because what is also committed to you as a woman is also your man. Not even is also, he's best your man, because you know you're coming to help, right? You know, when we, you know, have that hard posture, that is how submission can work. Like I believe that submission without faith is impossible. Like it's impossible to submit. Like real submission, not accepting manipulation because you don't have alternative. Real submission takes faith. That's what I believe.
I agree.
Sorry, I want to say one last thing. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I want to say one last thing. So I know another thing I want to say is that in scripture where it talks about you know, the a believing wife, by her conduct and submission to her husband, it's easier for her to, like, she can actually win her husband over. I think it's important to see that that context was talking about somebody that got married, but then it does not know about Jesus, and then inside your marriage you got born again. And you know what God is, the wisdom that God is prescribing is that, see, this thing submission is so powerful that it can even convert the heart of your husband. However, for a believer that is single, do not think And because it's very important, because if you see how weighty submission is, you realize that you cannot just be careless about your leader. You just can't be careless about who you are going to get married. Your yardstick for choosing your life leader, because your husband is your life leader. Like he's basically your life leader. You know, you can have other leaders in other, but your husband is your life leader as it stands, right? Your criteria cannot, like, you can't afford to make your standard something that is, you know, that cannot withstand test. Yes, we have imperfection and all of that, but they are basic standard. And I want to say something. I know that there's one last thing I said, but I really want to appreciate you, because you said something about cultivating your wife and all of that. And I felt like, you know, I mean, we Kefa Styles, right? I know when I gave up on Kefa Styles, right? Like that was shortly before we met, and I wasn't going to do Kefa Styles again. So in my head, and you just kept saying, I see this, I see that, and I'm like, yo, what are you saying? You look into my eyes and you're like, oh, when I look into your eyes, I literally, like, when I look into your eyes, I see a future, I see a this. And the truth is, that revived that vision. Yes, it revived it. And today, Kefa Styles has set the ground. And I really just want to say thank you for that, just little, you know. And I believe that, I remember, like I said, you know, telling you that one of the hardest, like, you don't know how it feels to submit. And I remember the Holy Spirit teaching me that, hey, one of the things submission will do to you is to bring you to a greater version of yourself. And that version of yourself is Christ, where you will, like, you come to a point where, like Jesus, he said, though he's equal with God, but he did not see it as something to contend for. He let go. And I realized that, you see, submission is a jackpot for life. I feel like a lot of revelation I've broken into is actually because of the technology of submission. Because heaven, I feel like heaven is not amazed by your gifts. Heaven is that God is not mesmerized by your gifts. He's mesmerized, you know, for lack of a better word, he's mesmerized by your submission. Because some of us, even Satan is more talented, but he's not moved because he's the creator. Like, he's not moved. But you see, submission is a choice that is independent to you, and you chose to lay down everything out of your own free will. That is what God is mesmerized by. So, Mr. AA, I know I said you're going to summarize since 2 years ago. So please, could you, like?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
How do I summarize? I'll just bullet points. Submission in itself is not really possible without the help of the Holy Spirit. Submission is one of the keys of a successful marriage. Submission is God's design, not man-made ideas. Submission can convert the unbelieving husband for those who are married. And for the singles, you choose a man you can submit to, and a man that can lead the home in all contexts, that you discern by the help of the Lord that this man can lead us into a bright destiny. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Subscribe, like, share, drop a comment. Like, don't just watch the video. We actually need you to drop a comment so that this conversation get to
more people.
Did you get that?
On your status.
Get to
more people.
Get to
more people.
Get to hey, get to more people.